Today we're going to continue our look at integers, but we're going to look at the more complicated part of them, adding and subtracting. Adding and subtracting are a little bit more confusing because there's not really a rule to follow where you just say, oh, I look at my signs, and if they're the same, it's a positive, and different, they're negative. It really, you need to think more about the number line, which direction you're moving with them. So we're going to go back to where we started from yesterday. Single number line that's arranging from smallest to largest. The smallest number, -7, because it's further to the left. As I go towards the right, I'm increasing my numbers. Usually with increasing, that means we've been adding stuff on. So as you go towards the right, what you're really doing is you're adding. So 0, 1, what else we got here? A 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6. And this is adding as you get bigger and bigger and bigger. And when you go this way, you're actually subtracting. Yeah, it's kind of an important idea we talked about yesterday. And just to remind ourselves again about some multiplying and dividing rules. Signs, we can check those pretty quick. 2 times -3, they're different, so it's a negative, and 6. Negative times a negative makes a positive, and 5 times 5 is 25. And we can do bigger questions, we just do in stages. Negative times a negative, that's positive here, and that's 15. And a positive times a negative comes out to negative. 15 times 4 is 60. Our big idea today, though, is how do we take this number line idea and add and subtract? As I said, there's no real rule that you can say, oh, my signs are the same. You actually have to think about which way you're moving on a number line. Okay. Adding, we said, goes to the right. Subtracting, we said, goes to the left. Okay. Some things we probably know without even thinking about. If you add 2 positive numbers together, you get a bigger positive number. For instance, 7 plus 5 makes a bigger number, positive 12. But something you might not have known is if you add 2 negatives together, you get further into the negatives. -7 and -5 is -12. Notice that because my signs were the same, I made a bigger version of that kind of sign. I had a negative and a negative. So that's kind of a little trick. If your signs are the same, just combine the numbers and put the sign in front. 12 and 4. What does that make? Well, they're both positives, so it's going to be a bigger positive. 16. -3 and -9, well, they're both negatives, so it's a bigger negative. 3 and 9 makes 12. -8, -4, both negatives. So 8 and 4 makes 12. 12 and 15, both positives, so a big positive, 27. -4, -17, oh, a whole bunch of negatives. I need a whole bunch of negatives. 4 and 17 makes 21. You can do it with more digits. 17, 13, 5. Well, those are all positives, so we need a big positive number. What is 17, 13, 5? That's 35. -4, -8, -5, all negatives, a whole bunch of negatives. It means I need a big old negative number. 4 and 8 is 12, 12 and 5 makes 17. Okay, and -12, -6, and -8, again, all negatives, so a big negative number. 12 and 6 is 18, and 8 more is 26. Okay. If your signs are the same, there is a little trick. Just combine the numbers and put the sign out front. Those ones aren't too bad. The problem comes when you have a mixture of numbers. Okay? So, first thing, check your signs between the digits. If there's more than one sign there, we got to fix that. I call that cleaning it up. We don't want to ever hear the words plus minus. That sounds really confusing, right? Like this, right? Plus minus. I don't know what that means. So we're going to clean it up. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to think about yesterday's idea. If your signs are the same, clean it up with a positive. If your signs are different, clean it up with a negative or a minus sign. You do this if you have 2 signs side by side. So, -3 plus -5. I don't like that. I'm going to say -3 plus minus. Those are different. So -5. Well, that makes it easier. I know how to collect negatives. A whole bunch of negatives gives me -8. How about the next one? 7 minus minus 12. Ooh, who wants to say minus minus? Let's clean that up. My signs are the same. Same signs means that it's positive. 7 plus 12 is 19. A bigger positive number. Let's practice cleaning it up first, then we'll get into the problems. Okay, negative 12 plus minus 4. I don't like plus minus. Plus minus, those are different. So I'm going to say minus 4. A negative 12 and a negative 4 is a whole bunch of negatives. 12 and 4 makes 16. 13 minus minus 9. I don't like that. Minus minus. Hey, those are the same things. That becomes a positive. And 13 plus 9 makes 22. Negative 11 minus 7. Are there any signs to clean up? No. I've got one sign between the digits, just that minus sign right there. So that's okay. So all I do is collect these things. I got a whole bunch of negatives. My answer is negative, and it ends up at negative 18. And the last one, negative 8 minus positive 15. Ooh, minus plus. I don't like that. Negative 8's okay, but minus plus, those are different. So I got to change into a minus sign. Now I'm ready to collect. I got a whole bunch of negatives. They're all negatives, which means I get a big old negative number. And 8 and 15 comes out to 23. Okay, so we're dealing with signs. Deal with them first. If you can collect them, great. If you can't collect them, here's what we're going to have to do next. Okay, when you have a mixture of signs, I'm going to give you two ideas. One's the number line. If you like number line, draw a number line for yourself and count on it, totally fine. I'm okay with that. What I also like, however, is if you have different signs, figure out the difference between them. However far apart they are will be your answer. And your sign is always the sign of the larger thing. For instance, 9 and 4 have different signs. One's negative, one's positive. How far apart are 9 and 4? Those are 5 digits apart. And what's bigger? Well, 9 is bigger than 4 and it's negative. So my answer is negative. How about 7 minus 10? Well, those are different by 3 digits, 7 and 10. What's bigger, a 7 or a 10? I think 10's a bigger number. What kind of sign does it have? A negative. So my answer is negative 3. The difference between things. If you don't like that, what else could you do? You take your number line. And here's 0, here's 7, and I have to subtract 10. Subtracting means we move towards the left. So I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. That's the same answer. I just think the difference idea is a little bit faster than counting them out. But it might take some practice to get there. We'll use either one of these two rules. Let's try a couple. 3 minus 7. Put a number line at the top in case we need it. 1, 2, 3 is right there. I'm going to do this by saying, hey, those are different things. One's positive, one's negative. How far apart are 3 and 7? 4 units. What's bigger, the 3 or the 7? 7 is. So my answer is negative 4. But on the number line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Hey, same answer. And let's try B here. Negative 2 plus 3. I got a negative and a positive. 3 is bigger, so it's going to be a positive answer. And how far apart are 2 and 3? 1 spot. On my number line, negative 2 is right there. And I'm going to add this time, so 1, 2, 3 gets me to positive 1. Same answer. If I look at C, oh, C has 4 plus minus 14. It's got a mixture of signs. We don't like that. We got to clean this one up. 4 plus minus. My signs are different. Tells me it's a minus sign. 14. Okay, what do I got now? A positive 4 and a negative 14. Different signs. How far apart are 4 and 14? Those are 10 digits apart. What's bigger, 4 or 14? Well, 14 is. My answer is negative. Now, just point out, if you already have a way that works for you with integers and you do it differently in your brain, I'm totally fine with that. As long as you get the right answer, I'm not a big deal. Okay. Let's take a look at D. -4 and -3. They're all negatives. Well, we said before, if they're all the same kind of sign, we're just going to collect them up. 4 and 3 make 7, and they happen to all be negative, so we get a big old negative answer. Right, take a look at E. -5 minus -6. Ooh, minus negative. I got two signs beside each other. Let's fix that. Clean it up. Two of the same. That's a positive sign. Okay, -5 plus 6. Those are different by 1 unit. 6 is bigger, so +1. F. -4 plus -6. Ooh. Messy. -4 plus minus. Don't like that. Those are different, so I need a minus sign. 6. Now, I put the brackets around the -4, but do I actually need them? There's nothing really happening there, so maybe the brackets are just thrown in there to trick me, in which case they are. Okay, so what do I already have? I've got that. Those are just negatives being collected. A whole bunch of negatives. We get -10. A couple more here. 9 minus 15. 9 minus 15. That's a +9 and -15. Those are different. How far apart are 9 and 15? Those are 6 digits apart. And what's bigger? 15, so negative. Again, just point out, you like that number line idea, it's totally fine. Here's 9, here's 0. I gotta subtract 15, so I gotta go down 9, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. That gives me 15 units, right? And I'm okay with that. You want to draw number lines. -3 plus 15. We'll have to go from the negatives to the positives. Those are different things. 3 and 15 are 12 units apart. 15 is bigger, so it's positive. On my number line, here's -3. And if I add 3, it gets me back to 0. How many more do I need? I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And gets me back to the same spot. I'm going to try I. -6 plus minus. Oh, plus minus. I don't like that. Let's fix it. Clean it up. Plus minus. Those are different. So it's a negative. 6 to 9. They're both negatives. A whole bunch of negatives. So I need a whole bunch of negatives. What's 6 and 9 make? It makes 15. Okay, so we've got some practice with integers here. Again, as I said, if you have a different way that works for you, I am totally fine with that. I'm just showing you some ways that I think work for me. Number line, I like the difference idea. We'll try our last little set here. Okay, if we make it a little bit messier, work left to right. That's what BEDMAS says, right? So on the left-hand side here, -3 plus 9. Those are 6 digits apart, and 9's bigger. Plus, minus, 4. Ooh, I don't like plus, minus. Let's fix that. Different signs means it's a minus sign. 6 minus 4, that's just 2. Okay, -7 plus minus 5. Oh, plus, minus. We've got to clean that up. In fact, what I would do the first time I look at a question, I would clean it all up right off the bat. All right, hey, look at those numbers. They're all negatives. A whole bunch of negatives. I know my answer is negative then. And 7 and 5 and 2 makes 14. Just collect all your negatives together. Okay, last one. Left to right. But I also noticed that this one needs some cleanup. So I'm going to do that first. 6 minus 4 plus minus. Those are different, so minus 2. That's why I don't have to worry so much about the integer idea of what positive and negatives. I can just deal with the numbers now. 6 minus 4. That's 2. 2 minus 2 makes 0. All done. Okay, adding and subtracting integers does take practice. I can go through them pretty quick, but I do them all the time. You probably go a little bit slower the first couple times, and that plus minus idea is what really causes the confusion if you have different signs. I think the rest of it's not too bad, but these take a little bit of practice. Hey, give this a try tonight. If you're stuck with things, come see me. There's a sheet like usual. And then tomorrow we're going to do this with BEDMAS. We're going to keep on going practicing these integer things. Yeah.